Hi, I'm Paprika. This is Kerbal Space Program, and I'm going to Minmus today. Jeb and I are going to look for life. So why Minmus? Because it's the closest, really, celestial body that I think might be capable, potentially, of holding life. In this case, bacteria or things similar to bacteria. Now, someone suggested that Minmus is not made of ice; it's made of salt, which is kind of what made me think of this, because recently, a few years ago, some people found some bacteria alive in a salt mine down in Africa, I think, that were alive, and they managed to grow them on nutrient agar, or whatever it was that they grew them on. And these things were alive, and they've been stuck in a salt crystal for 250 million years, which is pretty impressive, really. So if they can survive for that long in salt, maybe if they used to live on Minmus before it was all salt. The idea that this person had was that Minmus used to have water, but it all evaporated and left the salt behind. So if the water used to have microbes living in it, then maybe they're still alive in the salt. And the reason these things could survive in the salt mine is because they formed spores. So spore it's like an inactive bacteria that's still alive, but it has very low water content in it, and sort of protective membranes. So it's really resistant. They're really resistant to heat. So it's why it's why you can't reheat food, really, and resistant to cold, and drying out, which in this case is what we want, really, for them to form spores to survive being dried out on Minmus. Theoretically, this is all made up. There's no way of actually. We're not actually able to do any science missions yet, but maybe we will, maybe we won't. It doesn't really matter at the moment, for the purposes of this. So yeah, I think that well, I'm a microbiology student, so I think that this whole sort of thing is very interesting, like the possibility of bacteria on other planets or other moons or whatever, and I think if we're going to find anything in our solar system, then it would be bacteria or similar, or microscopic. So single cell things or primitive multicellular things, which would be amazing. But it was the bacteria that made me think about this. So this is me. I'm trying to put down in that flat area there, the lake, the salt flats, I suppose. Although if it is ice, that it could potentially work still. If it used to be liquid water and then froze, with the same principle would apply, really, because freezing bacteria doesn't kill them. That's why you can't. Well, you shouldn't refreeze other things once you've warmed them up. Yeah. That's because they grow when you take them out of the freezer and it thaws, and then when you freeze, and there's a lot of bacteria, and the freezing doesn't kill.
They are surviving ready to if he makes it ill. So yeah, sure free thing. But anyway, that's got a microphone I've got here, which is same. I did manage to stay, so I managed to land. Which is good. There's a lot of editing in this. I made a bit of a mistake on my trajectory on the way in. I got a nice polar orbit and then mixed up which way round I was going, so I ended up nearly landing on the dark side and on the mountain, which is obviously not what I wanted. I wanted to land on this nice, brightly lit salt flat. Flamingos that whole thing, which should cross the part of their year in salt flats. In case you didn't know. Basically microbiology is, if you weren't aware, it's like bacteria, viruses and protozoa and things like that, and some of the smaller helminths. So that's what I'm interested in, that's what I study, so yeah, so that's what I'm really talking about. I'll do, I plan on doing a trip to every planet or moon in the Kerbal system that I can think of that could support life, and I'll sort of make a video and explain why they might be able to, and then Jeb will, as he's doing here, go out and take a sample and jump for joy. I love how high they can jump on them. It's brilliant. But yes, yeah, so he, hopefully it will be Jeb, in case anything goes wrong. Fingers crossed it doesn't. So there we go, he's got the samples, we can take them back, throw them up on agar plates of some kind for the Kerbal equivalent. This was me working out where I had to burn, so I'm heading west, just to come out behind Minmus and then land, well not land, but re-orbit Kerbin. Jeb's looking happy that he's gotten samples, and that he's going to narrowly miss hitting this big mountain. That was me trying to work out if I was actually going to miss it. Yeah. You might be similar to Minmus, which not having to the colour here. Something went wrong, and the video is very strange. Excuse me. But it's basically just landing, so yeah. Got Juna, Lave is quite an obvious one, with its atmosphere and rivers, and not rivers but lakes and the ocean, which so it's like an early air or a turbine. So that would be an interesting one to try and find things in. So yeah, and I've never been there before, so that would be a good video. And I've never been to Juna and back. So there's our sample in those little blue jugs. This is just me trying to land it. Yeah. Hopefully this has been enjoyable for you, or entertaining, and hopefully informative. I'd like to give something interesting. So thank you very much, and yeah, I'll see you later. Cheers.